What's up, LoreHounds? It's Koopa here. I'm here with Aaron Campbell, the senior producer for Riders of Rohan, the Lord of the Rings expansion. So you guys launched in 2007. Here we are 5 years removed, and we're entering the second book.
Well, you know, we take our time. We want to make sure we get every detail right. So we're just finishing up, basically, the story of the Fellowship of the Ring and moving on to the Two Towers. And we're very excited to be in Rohan.
One of the big feature that you guys have been showcasing is the mounted combat. So how far, how complex does it get? Because it can get a little hairy if you're doing multiple things at once.
Sure. Mounted combat, we wanted to create a brand new combat experience. So we took the base of what we've got now and we said, what if we made it go fast? Really fast, right? And then what if we gave it momentum and gave it this feeling of really being on a steed, something that's not going to slow down easily, it's going to take time to turn. So we have all these elements to balance of movement and speed, and we want to encourage that movement all the time. So we have a brand new element we call Fury. Fury basically builds as you build up speed, as you ride, and gives you a bonus to your damage and your healing, and lets you pull off some pretty cool skills.
And the skills actually change depending on the steed we're riding, correct?
So each steed is going to have their own trait tree, and you can trait them as a light, medium, or heavy steed. Light is your glass cannon, heavy is very durable, and will just go forever, but isn't going to do as much damage. Your medium steed is a nice middle ground.
And because it's based on a class, the abilities we get. So if we're like a tank heavy class and then we pick the heavy, does that make us more tankable?
Absolutely. So you're going to have a mix of skills. You're going to have skills specific to your steed's traits and skills specific to your class and how you choose to advance those. So balancing those out and then balancing them with basically your stance or your discipline, you can really come up with a lot of varieties. So theoretically, you could be a lighter class, pick up the defensive stance, and pick up a heavy steed and do a little tanking.
Off tank, or could you actually be full on?
Probably more off tank. You're never going to be quite as durable as the Guardians or Wardens out there, but you can certainly give them a run.
What are some of the environments we're going to be able to run around in, and just the new quest areas?
Sure. We have the brand new areas of Eastern Rohan, the plains of East Emnet. So Norcroft, Sutcroft. We've opened up these areas. They're called ridings, and each of them has their own local lord, their own heraldry and traditions. We also have the Eves of Fangorn. We have the Argonath. We have, Parth Galen. We have all these places where the Fellowship has been, and we're going to follow that story very closely.
And also with the expansion, you guys have continued to upgrade your tech. I mean, you guys went to DX11 previous expansion,
sure,
and now you guys have really opened up the landscape so we can see much further. How important was that to fitting in with Riders of Rohan?
With a feature like mounted combat, you have to do a few things. We had to extend how far you can see, both out of being able to move that quickly, being able to ride and know where you're going, but also for some of the great landmarks in the world, like the Seat of Seeing. You just need a view off of that thing, right? It's essential. In addition, we've been playing with brand new technical tricks, but things that really enhance the feel. So if you're in DX11, you turn those graphics up, you're going to actually see the grass swaying before you as you ride through, etc. It's the details.
Yeah, definitely, and especially in a world like Lord of the Rings. Those little details. So definitely, if you don't have DX11 turned on, make sure you can do it because it's amazing all the way from the water to the grass and all that fun stuff. One of the other new things is now that we're in the Two Towers kind of lore, we start seeing the Fellowship break up, but we get to play a pretty big part in that, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to be really back to our roots, back to our core of bringing you right into the middle of the Fellowship. You're going to be interacting with Gandalf. You're going to be sitting down with Aragorn and Boromir. You're going to be playing as Frodo. You're going to get a chance to play as Boromir even. So I think there are some story elements there we know, but we want to give you a new viewpoint on them.
You guys are going to give us actually some subtleties that aren't shown in the books?
We want to give you all the detail.
When do we finally get to mount our steed and take on some of these monsters and play in our instances as Frodo, and etc.?
Yes, launch date for Riders of Rohan is September 5th, so coming soon.
Coming soon. It's in beta now, right?
In beta now.
In beta now. Is it open beta?
It's a closed beta. It's invitation beta. Your best chance to get in is if you pre-order Riders of Rohan at rohan.lotro.com.
Thanks so much. Make sure you pre-order if you want to get in. Thanks.
Thank you.